What's up, potato chips? This is your girl, Jerry Nicole, your favorite couch potato, and I'm coming to you guys with another review for NBC's Good Girls. This is Season 1, Episode 6, entitled A View from the Top. And man, shit got real in this episode. Whew, I almost thought their relationships was going to be ruined. Thought they was going to get caught up. But let's just jump right on in to this review. So we open up this episode with Beth and Dean at the doctor's office for an appointment for Dean, when the doctor tells them there's not a lot to look forward to. Dean has prostate cancer. After they look at the scans, they can think about surgery and the options that they have. And I'm looking at this doctor like, you can't be no real doctor. You can't be. If you're a doctor, you got your license off of like becomeadoctor.com, because nothing about him convinced me that he was really a doctor. Now, the whole time they're talking, we get another scene where they're pulling the SUV that the girls had stolen a few episodes prior out of the river. And guess who's there to see them getting the car out of the river? Agent Turner. And he sees the license plate frame around the license plate is from Bolden Motors. Of course, we all know that Dean owns Bolden Motors. But back at the hospital, or at the doctor's office, shall I say, best main concern is, how much is all this shit gonna cost? Which to me makes me believe that this is just another way for her to stay in the game of laundering money, because it's easy for her to make money, and she done got a taste of that easy money, and now that's all she can think about all the time. Tell you, she gonna end up being a queen pin. This girl is devious and lie her ass off. Like if lying was a superpower, man, she would not be fucked with. I promise you, nobody lies as good as she does. But anyway, she leaves the doctor's office, and you see Dean throw shady doctor keys to a vehicle. And the doctor's like, is it a Cadillac? And Dean's like, it's a Buick. Doctor's like, is it new? Dean's like, look, it's new to you. I'm like, for real? I understand that you want your wife back, but cancer is not something you play with. And when Beth finds out that this nigga don't have cancer, bitch, the shit is gonna hit the fan. I can't wait for that shit to come out that he don't have cancer. I just can't wait to see the reaction on her face. Now back at Ruby's house, Sarah's still recovering from the kidney failure. So Stan, Ruby, and little brother Henry are out here beatboxing Lottie Dottie from Slick Rick featuring Dougie Fresh. Y'all remember Lottie Dottie, Lottie, Lottie, Lottie Dottie. We like to party. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody. We're just some men that are on the mic. And when we rock the mic, we rock the mic, right? Man, they had mad skills. Stan, beatbox was on point. Ruby knew all the words. Sarah really wasn't feeling it because, you know, she don't feel good, poor baby. And then Ruby tells Stan that she's going to be at the diner all day again. And Stan's like, if I didn't know you the way I know you, I would think that something sneaky and suspicious was going on. And in my mind, the whole time I'm thinking, if only you know. Like, for real, if you really knew what she was doing, you would not be happy. Now, Ruby goes back to her real job as a money launderer. She meets the girls. You know, it's time to get her cut. Now, after looking at her cut, she's like, I can't keep doing this. All this risk that we're taking and this little amount of money is not worth it, especially with Sarah now being on home dialysis and them having a new medication that she has to use, the little bit of money that they're getting is not even going to put a dent into the medical bills that they have. Annie's annoyed because she's on Facebook talking to her custody lawyer, and the custody lawyer is charging her for messaging her on Facebook. And Ruby said, "What made you think that she wouldn't charge you?" And I was thinking the same thing, like, she's a lawyer. They charge for telephone calls, text messages, any office visits, and here go Annie. Well, we're friends on Facebook, so, like, girl, that don't mean nothing. Lawyers gonna get their money by any means necessary. They will charge you for any and everything. Now, Ruby wants them to cut their losses. She's like, "I'm tired of lying to my husband. We don't get to spend no time with our families. So let's just get out of it. We really haven't done anything major yet." She's not ready to get caught up. She's not ready to get shot. So later on that night, they're at the park and it's time for the drop off to give, Rio his money. And she's steady still trying to convince the girls, let's get out of this. It's like, we hadn't signed a contract. We haven't really done anything wrong. And Annie's like, it's not like an internship. We can't say, thank you for the opportunity. We learned so much. Here's your money back. We've been laundering money for this gang. What do you think is going to happen? And all of a sudden, here comes Rio. He only catches the tail end of the conversation. So he wants to know what they're trying to get out of. Ruby says, we're just thinking about the organization and the smaller part that we play in it. And then all of a sudden, here comes Beth interjecting. Instead of getting them out, she digs them in deeper, as she's done for the past couple of episodes. I think almost every episode except for one. Pretty much tells them, we've washed all this money for you and we deliver and we're not making enough. So we need 5 times more than what you're giving us just to make anything. So Rio asks, you want to clean 500 G's? And I'm thinking, damn, that's a lot of damn money. And Beth is like, we can do it. Henny and Ruby are like, we can? She's like, it's not a problem. They're like, it's not? Because I'm thinking, like, how the hell y'all gonna clear 500 G's? How are you going to clean 500 G's? And here go Beth. Go big or go home, right? And Rio goes, well, you got the mom van? And she's like, yeah. Tells this goon, load him up then. And I'm just thinking, what plan does Beth have that's going to help them clean 500 G's? Now they on the hook for even more money. And Ruby was like, I'm trying to get out. That's what we're supposed to be doing, getting out. They're having this conversation back at Beth's house at this time. And Beth is like, we just need more hands. We just need to do this on a larger scale. And Ruby's like, so you want to bring more people into this? It's not Mary Kay. Ruby's like, you can't serve a bitch a mini muffin and then invite them into your life of crime. And I love every line that Ruby has. They're all hilarious. And she delivers them oh so well. But as always, Beth has a plan. She invites 4 fellow moms and Tyler. Tyler was a security guard at the Fresh and Frugal store and she introduces them as secret shoppers. She pretty much tells them, you guys go to stores, you buy items, and then you return items, because the only thing that the stores care about is the customer service. One of the moms is like, so you want to pay us to buy items and return them? And she's pretty much like, yes, that's what I want you to do. Now the girls are contemplating what they're going to do, how their husbands are going to react. And then Beth says, it's called Secret Shopper, so we have to keep this a secret. And then she tells them ever since she became a secret shopper, her perspective on life has changed. She's been able to do all these great things. And before anybody can interject and say yes or no, here come Annie. Talk about the person who makes the most sales will get a Corvette at the end of the year. How the hell you promising shit? When you committing fraud, you're committing a crime. Where the hell are y'all gonna come up with a Corvette? Damn it. Annie always saying some shit. She don't never think. She always fucking some shit up. She's gonna wind up fucking up the church's money. Or one of these new girls is gonna wind up fucking up the church's money. Now, remember how I told you they dredged the car out of the lake? Well, Agent Turner goes over to Bolden Motors to talk to Dean. Agent Turner tells them, we found the car that you had reported stolen. It was in the lake. And Dean's like, well, who would steal a car and sink it? And Agent Turner's like, I'm not sure, but I know somebody who might know. And he's like, you might want to talk to your wife. I told y'all, shit gets real in this episode. So we're going to get back to the conversation that Dean's going to have with Beth about the car. Now, back at Fresh and Frugal, or Fine and Frugal. Fine and Frugal is actually what the store is called, but I can never remember. So it'll be Fresh and Frugal, Fine and Frugal, Fit and Frugal, whatever I can think of. But Frugal will be in there. Marion is at the store. You guys remember Marion. Marion is Boomer's grandma, who they had tried to rob to pay back the gang originally. And then she recognizes Annie. And that's when Boomer walks up and is confused on how they know each other. And then here goes Grandma telling Boomer, his name is actually Leslie, she calls him Leslie, that Annie is a volunteer and she came to the house and they cleaned up her house. So now Boomer's antenna are up because he knows Grandma got a whole bunch of money at the house. He want to know why in the hell Annie was over there. So they're going back and forth, and Annie's being petty and brings up the photo of Jessica Alba, his fiance. And then before they can continue the conversation, in comes Tyler and says, Annie, you got a minute? Can I talk to you? They go outside, walk over to his car, and he's telling Annie, I went to the store and I bought all the stuff like you said. They didn't even know that I was a secret shopper. And she's like, yeah, okay. He was like, and I was going to go return the stuff like you said. And she was like, yeah, okay. Like, what the hell went wrong? What happened? Like, she already knows something ain't right because he done pulled her outside. He tells her that all the merchandise got stolen. And she's like, well, the windows of your car aren't broken. And he's like, well, the locks are. Now, damn it, you know that the locks on your car are broken. Why the hell would you keep all of this shit in your car? And she's like, we gave you $20,000. And he was like, yeah, why don't you call corporate? I know this stuff must happen all the time. But again, why the fuck would you keep $20,000 worth of shit in your car when you know the locks are broken? Now, Annie finna have a damn heart attack because she don't know what the hell they're going to do. Because now they on the hook for $20,000. Like, where the hell are they going to come up with $20,000? Because they don't have anything to return. Now, Annie has to go and tell the girls that Tyler has royally fucked up the church's money. And they got to figure out how the hell to get it back. So she hands out the ski masks that they wore when they robbed the grocery store from the first episode. And Ruby's like, oh, hell no. We not robbing Nobody else. I'm not doing that. And she was like, well, how in the hell do you think we gonna get this money back? What suggestions do you have? I'm open for suggestions. So Ruby's like, let's just stiff the secret shoppers. And Beth is like, well, we can't do that because then we'll go to jail for fraud. Bitch, if you don't come up with these people money, you gonna be dead. You ain't gotta worry about no damn fraud. And then you got Annie, and she's like, do you know what happens if we don't come up with their money? We're going to end up in oil drums looking like soup. Because you know they're going to put us in oil drums and pour lard over our body and fat. And the people won't know if we're soup or dog or human. But you know Beth. Once she gets to thinking, that criminal queen pin mind of hers starts working, and she's like, we don't need anything. All we need to do is get the items. And they're like, well, how the hell are we gonna get the items, or how are we gonna get the money? Luckily they still have the receipt, so there's their master plan. They all go to the store to get the merchandise back. Annie and Beth go in with these bad wigs, and Beth buys real stuff, and Annie takes everything and the receipt. Everything that's on the receipt she puts in the basket. Ruby's sitting in the car when some teenager comes and knocks on her window. He's selling candy bars for whatever school trip that he is trying to go on. Ruby ain't trying to be bothered because she's nervous as all get out. But she figures, I'll buy the stuff to get him away from the damn car. So she buys the candy bars, and he's like, well, what do you want? And she's like, I don't really care. Just give me what you got and get away from me. But the funny part is, when she realizes that she got nougat chocolate bars, she was annoyed. Like, damn it, nougat? Of all shit, I get nougat? And I'm thinking to myself, you annoyed to buy nougat? Your friends is in here stealing. So Beth gets to the register with all the crap stuff that she bought. And Annie is in the corner waiting for her to leave the store so that she can get out with all of the stuff that Tyler lost. So as they're leaving, Beth walks up and goes out the door, and the metal detector goes off. So she's distracting the security guard with some scarf that she had on, trying to find her receipt that's in the bottom of her purse. And while she's doing all that, Annie walks straight past him with the cart full of shit that they just got away with stealing. So they get out to the car, and Ruby's like, well, we got to do all this returning of stuff, so let's go. Beth is super happy and excited that they got away with getting the merchandise back because, you know, this was her idea. Now, at home, here's Dean. And he tells her that Agent Turner came by and let them know that they found the SUV in the bottom of the lake. And he wants to know what the hell is really going on. Why did you take the damn SUV, and why did you sink it? Now she's sweating bullets. And she's like, well, what did you tell Agent Turner? And he's like, I covered for you. I didn't say anything. I told them, you know, I cheated on you and this was your revenge to me. You stole the car and you sunk it. But he's pissed off. He starts yelling at her to come sit down because he want to know what the hell is really going on. And she's like, don't yell at me. And he's like, nah, come here and sit your ass down and you're going to tell me what the fuck is really going on. And I was like, well, damn. Dean done finally got some fucking balls. She was like, well, we needed the money, so I had to do what I had to do. He was like, well, you should have got a job. I was like, I did get a job. He was like, nah, at a Panera Bread. I can't stand him. I hate him because he makes her like the Stepford wife, like she can't do shit for real. Oh, he gets on my nerves. But anyway, she blames everything on Rio and made it seem like they sought her out, and he's like, it was the bounce house guy. You know, they prey on women and that look vulnerable. So she lets him roll with the belief that she was preyed upon, and he's like, well, they're not gonna bother you anymore. And I'm thinking to myself, he better not even go approach Rio. Beth, you gonna get this nigga ass beat. For real, for real. Cause Dean don't look like he could fight for nothing. He looked like he got picked on in high school. I'm just saying. Now let's get back over to my girl Ruby. She finna get caught up. Ruby gets home and she asks Sarah if she wants anything to eat. And Sarah's like, no, because Uncle Tony brung over all of this food. So she is walking towards the kitchen, and Stan and Tony are in the kitchen. And Tony says, if I heard about Sarah, and if I had known about Sarah's condition, I would have never let you go. So now, Stan noticed she ain't been working at the diner. So Tony leaves, and Ruby's like, I was going to tell you, but I wanted to wait until I had something concrete. That's what I've been doing every day. I've been out here looking for a job, baby. Please don't be mad. And Stan wasn't saying nothing. He was she kept talking and he wasn't saying nothing. And she was like, say something, baby. He was like, I don't believe nothing you said. And my whole heart broke. Because if you could have seen the look on Ruby's face, she thought that her whole marriage was finna be over. And I was just like, no, black love is wonderful. I can't have them fighting like this. It was heartbreaking for me. I couldn't do it, y'all. I needed her to get out of the business right there just to save her marriage. Boomer goes over to Grandma's house and he's asking Grandma, where you keep the money? He's like, go somewhere safe. Well, you need to put it in the bank. She was like, well, I don't trust the bank. And then Grandma hands him a tin of cookies to take to work to get at Annie. Oh, so you know this nigga Boomer mad because he can't stand Annie. And it's like, Annie's such a bad person. And no, I'm not doing that. And you don't need to be hanging out with Annie. And Grandma then tells him, I know Jessica Alba isn't really your fiance. And Boomer's like, he's trying to come up with a lie as he calls Annie another loser. She goes, I know this isn't real. I know that she's married and she has 2 kids. He's like, Grandma was like, you always had trouble meeting people, and I always thought it wasn't your fault. After he comes out and tells Grandma the truth that he made all that shit up, Grandma's like, I love you, Leslie, but I don't think that Annie's the loser here. I think it's you. Oh, damn. Grandma, you didn't have to call your grandson a loser to his fucking face. We know he's a loser, but shit. Now, y'all know, Grandma calling him a loser and saying that she loves Annie done really pushed this nigga all the way over the edge. So where does he go? He go to Agent Turner's office because he want to know what the hell is going on. He is knocking on the window or the glass door that says agents only. Agent Turner is ignoring him wholeheartedly. Some other agent was like, if you don't stop banging on the window, we're going to have to forcibly remove you from this building. So now it's time for him to come up with a plan on how he going to get some revenge on Annie for stealing Grandma away from him and making Grandma love. Now, we're back at the park again because the girls got to wait for Rio to come pick up the money. And this is when Beth admits that Dean knows everything because the FBI found the van or the SUV that they had stole. She assures the girls that Dean covered for her. Now Rio and his boys come pick up the money, and Beth asking him, how do y'all not get caught? And Rio is like, because I flipped my game. And it's like, the hell is a flip? No, Beth, it's like, what is flip my game? And it's like, she knows all of those words, but she doesn't know all those words in the sentence in which you just used. So now he gotta, dumb this down for these women and explain to them what flipping his game is. Y'all give me a minute. I'm actually have to look at my notes for this one to get it completely right. He explains that while everyone else is doing the typical thing, he's over here with a bunch of suburban bitches selling Monopoly money. Which is real because it is fake. He gives them, their cut of $60,000, and then he announces that he's going to be upping their drop to $750. Now the girls is out here celebrating that they done cleaned all this money. They finna get, a little bit more money. And Beth is like, look, I got the exit strategy. This is how we gonna get out. We gonna do this for 6 more months. We gonna get enough money for Sarah's medical bills. We're gonna get enough money for Annie's custody lawyer. And then we're gonna have a honeypot, which is money left over for them to do whatever they need to do, because she doesn't ever want to have to be broke again and depend on her husband or anybody else to provide for her. And they ain't robbing no more damn grocery stores. Now Ruby needs a solution to her problem. What the hell is she gonna tell her husband? So they tell her to tell him that she's a secret shopper. She started a business. And she tells Stan, I'm sorry I lied to you, but I started my own business as a secret shopper. It's really lucrative. I didn't want to tell you about it because I didn't want it to fail. And as she tells him that, she proceeds to pull out stack after stack after stack after stack after stack after stack until she had 20 G's sitting on the dining room table. She tells him it's a very lucrative business. And he's like, I can see that. So they good now because she done come up with all this money. Now Annie goes to visit Miriam to tell her the truth because she feels bad. She tells Miriam, you know what, I don't work for any organizations, Meals on Wheels, Medi-Cal, Medicaid. When we came to your house to rob you because we needed the money. And then she gives Miriam a bag that has one of the little statuettes that they had stole. She says she couldn't find the little drummer boy. And that's because Rio broke all them other ones. Miriam is like, it's okay. And Annie's like, no, you understand that I came here to rob you. She's like, it's fine. Did you rob me for a good reason? And Annie is perplexed, like, really? But you gotta remember, this old lady don't have any friends. So Annie coming in to visit her was the highlight of her day. So they're now on good terms. They're friends. They're having drinks. Everybody is now a little bit better. The shit that hit the fan really didn't fuck them up as bad as I thought it was. Now back to Boomer. Told you he is trying to plot revenge on Annie something fierce. So he's back at the grocery store and he's talking to the stock boy named Darren. And he's asking Darren for drugs. And Darren's like, oh, drugs are on aisle 9. And Boomer's like, no, not those type of drugs. Like, good drugs. He's like, on aisle 9. He was like, what if I told you I wanted party favors? He was like, oh, party favors? Those is on aisle 8. And then Boomer let him know, look, little boy, I know what you do out in the parking lot. Because you work here, but you drive a Range Rover. So unless you want me all in your business in the parking lot, I need you to give me the good drugs. So Darren is like, I got fentanyl, I got mollies, I got this, I got that, I got fat sacks of weed. And Boomer's like, I want all of it. So he buys all of Darren's drugs. Now, this is my personal opinion. Boomer done fucked up because I think those drugs are gonna end up being Rio's drugs, because I forgot to mention that in the explanation he gave to Beth about, flipping his game, he says first you start off with pills, and pills turn into this, and that turns into something else. So I think those drugs are really Rio's. And Boomer takes those drugs and he plants them in Annie's locker, because that's how pissed off he is at her. So if those are Rio's drugs, Boomer is gonna get fucked up. Now Beth comes home at the end of the night after they celebrated, and she's putting her grocery bags on the table, and she asks Dean why her key doesn't work in the front door. And Dean is like, it's because I changed all the locks. You're gonna feel safe in your own home. Then he tells her that Fred is now going to be closing up the store, the dealership up at night, and he's gonna be at home to be with her. And Beth was like, didn't Fred just have twins? And he's like, well, yeah, he did, but I need to be at home with you so you can be safe. Dean says the bouncy house guy isn't gonna mess with you anymore. And all of a sudden, Beth starts cracking up. And he's like, I don't see anything funny about any of this that's going on. Because Dean was like, nobody's going to mess with you on my watch. And that's really what made her laugh. And then she just lets the cat out of the bag. She tells him, the little wifey that you thought you had that enjoyed cooking for you, she's not here anymore. And she's not ever going to be here. You don't know what I've done or what I've had to do to make sure that we are right. She takes the grocery store bags off of the counter, walks over to Dean, and pours all the contents of what's in the bag on Dean's lap. And it's like 5 bags. And it's just stacks and bundles of 20s. Andrew Jackson is on the 20, right? If Andrew Jackson is on the 20, that's what it was. And Dean's whole face is looking like, what in the fuck is going on here? Like, where did all this money come from? What's going on, Beth? And Beth is like, look, you don't have to worry about me. Fred, give him those nights off so he can be home with his babies. And I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm going to be all right, okay? And that's pretty much how this episode ended, you guys. I thought that everything was going to just be in the toilet. And now that they've invited other people into the mix, that's going to fuck shit up, in my personal opinion. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all think adding extra people is going to mess things up for them? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, you guys, love, peace, and potato chip grease.